You know, I mean, you still watch it, right? I think the only thing that we've seen though is that a lot of the dub companies. Well, I guess they heard Japan. When I was in Japan or whatever, I saw some of the guys that draw the manga and some other artists of the shows. They're all hurting because if the kids don't buy the anime here that are dubbed, which also have the sub on them, then they don't get money in Japan, and so basically they go out of business. You know, so a lot of them are trying to and Greg could talk about that stuff, but a lot of them are trying to marry some of the American companies here so that they can kind of work together, I guess, and just figure something out. But yes, there's quite a few that stuff happened. Like I've seen a huge, there's a while when all I was doing was anime. But now most of my work now consists of doing video games and prelay work. Prelay is original animation. It's not, not anime. That's where I go in, I record my voice, and then they draw to it. So I'm seeing more of that stuff as opposed to anime. Is that good? Was that boring? You're looking over there. So anyways, here's your answer. And
yeah. What was your favorite moment in the recording studio?
What was that?
What's your favorite moment in the recording studio?
My favorite moment?
Or moment?
I don't know if I have any favorite moments. I can tell you funny moments. You want a funny moment? Well, maybe it wasn't funny at the time. It was kind of embarrassing. But I have two of these stories that I can tell you. One of them is I was working on Wolf's Rain. Check. What was that? That was weird. Oh, that was you. So anyhow, Wolf's Rain. I was in there. I woke up late and I had to rush over there. I didn't get to eat breakfast, so I got in and I'm Kiba in there, so it's a pretty important role. So I had to make sure that I'm on top of my game. But when I'm in there, my stomach starts to growl because I didn't eat, and it's and when you're in school, it's embarrassing, so you shuffle your papers and kick your desk and try to make noise so nobody can hear your stomach growling. That way, they don't think you're farting or something, I don't know why it's so embarrassing, but isn't it embarrassing in school when your stomach's growling and everybody's quiet?
Yep.
That was just me tapping on the table. But you can't do that, obviously, if you're recording voice, because they're you're making too much noise, Johnny. Stop banging away at you. What are you doing? So I'm in there, and in between my stomach growling, right, it goes like that, right? And I was like, what the hell was that? It went from to like that, right? I squeezed out a fart. And I'm dang it. And in the booth they have a big window, and so I'm looking at the screen and I turn over there and they're looking at me. I'm hey, I swear I didn't fart in here. And they're all I'm oh, you come in and smell, it doesn't stink. But they didn't believe me, and they weren't going to come in and smell. Another time, I was going in, I was working on, what was it called? Melody of Oblivion. You watched it? I haven't even seen it. I heard it was okay. And so anyhow, I'm going in, and I got in, this time I got in early, and usually if I'm early, I try to get there 15 minutes ahead of time so I can scan through the script and figure out where I'm at in the scene. And so I get in there, and then I see the guy, the engineer, is adjusting the microphone in the booth, right? And then he sees me coming, and he darts out the doorway as I'm coming in, and he bumps shoulders with me all right, thanks, what are you doing? You weirdo. And then he's like, you don't have to go in there. As he's walking away, I'm okay, I'm supposed to be in here, what are you talking about? So I start flipping through my pages, and I'm oh, he totally farted in the booth. I'm dude, I gotta stand in here. I gotta breathe and talk. You left your poop particles in the air. What am I gonna do? I can't there's not a fan in here. That sucked. It wasn't a good moment. That was a bad moment. Bad cheesy fart, yeah.